Now at 5, police in Oklahoma investigate a shooting that injured a 5-year-old boy. Plus, how 2 area high schoolers brought composting to their community.
The uptick in violent crimes across the country have sparked debate over the root cause of the problem and how to fix it. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill as both House and Senate lawmakers weigh in with their solutions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Ottawa County Sheriff investigates a shooting that sent a 5-year-old boy to the hospital. This is KOAM News at 5. Happened early this morning at a home on North Main in Fairland, Oklahoma. Authorities say someone attempting to shoot a dog missed and the bullet went into the house, hit the 5-year-old boy in bed. The boy was taken to a nearby hospital in stable condition. The Ottawa County Sheriff David Dean says while the investigation is still ongoing, they already know who the shooter is and that it was not intentional.
This was a complete accident and somebody wasn't looking at their background, just common gun safety wasn't followed.
Sheriff also says the shooter is a minor, so they will not be releasing the name. Again, at last report, the 5-year-old victim was in stable condition. There's a new partnership between law enforcement agencies in northeastern Oklahoma. The Quapaw Nation and 6 state and local agencies, including Miami Police and the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, signed a cross-deputization agreement. The agreement allows the local law enforcement to assist tribal marshals within reservation boundaries.
Addressing crime within the reservation, or whether it's any other area local law enforcement, they have the ability to do that. Whether it's a Quapaw tribal member, whether it's another tribal member of another tribe, and whether it's a non-tribal, non-Indian altogether.
That signing ceremony was at the tribe's Quixota Center. 2 Columbus, Kansas high school seniors are using their passion for the environment to make a change in both their school and the community. Emily Welch and Casey Soper are working together to bring more composting sites to Columbus schools and the town. They both became interested in composting at the start of the pandemic. Now, with a grant through the K-State Extension Office, they've been able to bring this project to life.
You just take it outside. If you have a compost bin like the one we have, or even just a pile on the ground, you can just dump it and it sits there, and the different microorganisms and stuff, they break it down and it just goes back into the earth and transforms into soil.
Currently have 2 of these composting bins out in the community as well as 2 on school grounds. Another pretty nice day out there. Checking in with Doug Hetty.
Yeah, not too bad for us today. Temperatures are great as we went right around 60 degrees once again during the afternoon. We've had quite a bit of sunshine across the region. We're going to see pretty much clear skies as we go through the evening hours. A weak little wave is going to work on in, especially after midnight for us tonight. This will give us some clouds. It may give us a random sprinkle, random flurry late tonight, but that is just about it. Temps, upper 50s to lower 60s in our western counties. We have kind of a light west northwesterly wind all day long at about 5 to 10 to 15 miles per hour. Through the evening hours, we drop back through the 50s, 40s, down into lower 30s once again later on tonight. We do have some up and down swings over the next week or so. We're going to check that out here in just a bit.
See you then. New data shows the U.S. has seen a sharp increase in violent crime over the past 2 years. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle held news conferences today to discuss varying solutions to the spike, while some experts say there's no one solution to bring down the trend. Reporter Skyler Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
This week, police in Miami, Florida responded to a tragic scene. A father shot and killed his 2 children before turning the gun on himself. While in Los Angeles, the family of Ricardo Trujillo Ramirez tearfully offered a reward in hopes of finding the person who shot and killed the 16-year-old last September.
The last few months have been heartbreaking.
It's part of a nationwide spike in violent crime. A recent report from the Council on Criminal Justice showed homicides in major American cities ticked up in 2021, with a 5% increase from 2020 and, more disturbingly, a 44% increase over 2019.
It's not a simple problem, and we can't explain it simply.
George Washington University professor Dr. Fran Buntman says there's no single solution to help reduce the trend, even as the Justice Department takes new steps to stop the flow of illegal guns and ghost guns, which are assembled using parts created by 3D printing technology.
You can have gun rights without having society awash in guns. But guns are not the only problem.
The uptick in violent crime has also become a campaign issue ahead of November's midterm elections to decide control of Congress.
The crime that we are seeing surging across this country is a direct result of Democrats' soft-on-crime policies.
In dueling news conferences Wednesday, Senate Republicans and House Democrats were split on the root causes of violence.
I don't think you've heard anybody here suggest that we should be soft on crime. It starts with crime prevention.
But both sides agreed that local police departments need more resources. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Biden has called on Congress to approve $500 million in new funding for community policing and violence intervention programs. The U.S. Army unveiled its climate strategy plan to cut down on carbon emissions and electrify its fleet of vehicles. The new strategy calls for a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, with an ultimate goal of zero emissions by 2050. As part of that, goals include creating an all-electric non-tactical or non-combat fleet by 2035 and fully electric tactical vehicles by 2050. Still ahead, the other part of the Super Bowl.
For some people, half the fun of the Super Bowl is watching the ads. I'm Michael George with the big trends you'll see in commercials this Sunday.
And next in Health Watch, some tips to help you stick with those New Year's resolutions. We know you depend. Topping today's Health Watch, a higher body mass index can increase the severity of pain for people with hand osteoarthritis. A new study of those patients shows a higher BMI associated with more severe pain in the hands, feet, knees, and hips. The authors of the study say obesity appears to have systemic effects leading to pain throughout the body. How's the new year, new you going? If you're struggling to keep those resolutions or you've already fallen off the wagon, you are not alone. Reporter Bradley Blackburn has some do's and don'ts to help you stay or get back on track.
Many of us start the new year with high hopes.
I say it every year, but yes, this is going to be the year.
And the best laid plans.
Write it down and put it somewhere you can see it.
But those New Year's resolutions often fade before Super Bowl Sunday. One study showing nearly 2/3 of people abandon their resolutions within a month. Whether it's fitness, nutrition, financial, or family goals, there's a reason people sometimes fall short.
So often we don't achieve our goals because we set goals in our heads, but we don't actually move them to our hearts.
Harvard psychologist and author Dr. Susan David says effective resolutions connect to your values and aren't all or nothing declarations, but little things you can do every day.
Every time we do that activity, we are casting a vote for the person that we want to become.
Experts say don't make a resolution just because everyone else is doing it, but do share yours with your family and friends so they can help support your goals. David recommends 4 core strategies for success. Practice self-compassion. If you have an off day, try again tomorrow. Recognize change as a process, not an event. Do the internal work. Understand why you want to change something and how it connects to your values. And set up your external environment.
If you are trying to run more, you might want to put your running shoes near the front door.
David says after 2 years of pandemic living, many people have begun thinking about goals more broadly, looking to make lasting changes in their lives. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Another study found approach-oriented goals, like Dr. David describes, are more successful than avoidance-oriented goals. And people who received support were significantly more successful than those who did not. Making changes to your diet could add years to your life. Norwegian researchers found young adults living in the U.S. could add more than 10 years to their life expectancy by changing to a diet that includes more legumes, whole grains, and nuts, and less red and processed meat. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about a cat losing hair on its tail.
Plus, temperatures kind of all over the place over the next few days. We're going to take a look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice day for us today. Once again, right around 60 for afternoon highs. We have partly sunny skies across the region. Our temps look pretty good over the next couple days, but a big weekend cool down. We'll get a pretty strong cold front that rolls in on Friday. We warm right back up early next week. Thunderstorms on Wednesday, maybe a little bit of snow on the backside. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Looks great. We're looking at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but plenty of sunshine across the region. Temperatures, most of us are sitting upper 50s to near 60. So upper 50s on the Missouri-Arkansas side, then near 60 once you get across southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Kind of a light westerly wind, northwesterly wind throughout the day at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. And it looks like it's going to stay somewhat breezy as we go through the evening hours. 58 westerly winds at about 10. Humidity is bone dry, sitting at about 30%. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 50s, 40s, 30s. We bottom out into lower 30s once again for us later on tonight. But pretty much clear skies. Not too much is going on here. If we pull out across the Central Plains, you can see these weak little waves. We've got one little weak wave through the Dakotas and parts of Nebraska. Most of this moisture is going to fall apart, but this could give us a few sprinkles, maybe a random flurry late tonight into tomorrow morning. And we have this northwest flow, so these waves just keep coming out of the northwest, and you can see them kind of lining up all the way back through southwestern parts of Canada. So we're just going to have several weak little waves over the next 5 or 6 days. All right, for us tonight, clouds increase. See a few sprinkles out to our west, random sprinkle, random flurry late tonight through tomorrow morning. Clouds break during the afternoon, a little bit cooler tomorrow, but not bad. High temps into the mid-50s, 33 to start, 50 by noon, high 55, southerly winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, clouds increase again with our next storm system. We don't drop off that much. Lower 40s, I think we'll go near, probably lower 50s by the time we head into the noon hour on Friday, but a cold front works in Friday afternoon. We get a lot of clouds. I still think we're going to push 60 during the afternoon. That cold air kind of lags behind it. We may get a random shower late Friday into Friday evening as this front works in. Then the colder air is going to filter in behind it by the time we head into Saturday. Quite a bit cooler. You can see mid-30s Saturday afternoon. So we're going to drop off by about 20 to 25 degrees. Super Bowl Sunday looks good. If you're doing any regional traveling, Super Bowl party, temperature is not bad, near 50. We start to warm up Monday into Tuesday, back into the 60s by Tuesday. Thunderstorms erupt by Wednesday. Some of those could be strong, maybe even severe, so we'll keep our eyes on that as we go through the next several days. All right, 55 tomorrow, 60 on Friday, only 36 on Saturday, back to 50 on Sunday. Valentine's Day, not too bad, 60 and partly sunny, and then thunderstorms by the middle of next week.
And I'm glad you keep putting up that Valentine's Day reminder, and a lot of other people will be grateful too. One of those days you really shouldn't forget.
Yeah, you probably should not.
Coming up, a look at the trends advertisers will be using during the Super Bowl. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Harold Beasley served in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 46. Pittsburgh native was stationed in France and England, and we salute Sergeant Harold Beasley, a four-state hero. As Consumer Watch, federal lawmakers are trying to avoid a government shutdown this month. The House passed a bill last night to extend funding through March 18th, set to expire in 9 days. But Congress is out of session next week, so the Senate's expected to vote on the measure soon. Lawmakers say they're working on a larger bill to address spending through September, the end of the fiscal year. Amazon is launching its telehealth service nationwide. The program, dubbed Amazon Care, offers virtual care visits and in-home visits in some cities for testing and vaccinations. So far, house calls are available in cities like Seattle, LA, and Washington, D.C. That'll expand to other major cities this year. As we all know, the Super Bowl isn't just about football, it's also about those commercials. With an estimated audience of more than 100 million, it's the biggest single opportunity for advertisers to try to stand out and build some buzz. Reporter Michael George takes a look at some of the trends to expect during this Sunday's game.
Sally sold seashells by the seashore, but the seashells didn't sell so well. So Sally set up a seashell store on Squarespace.
This new Super Bowl ad from Squarespace featuring Zendaya made its debut on CBS Mornings.
Oh, Blaze. Brings back so many good memories.
A-list celebrities are taking over many of this year's Super Bowl spots.
It's really designed to bring viewers of all ages in. You know, you see Zendaya, who definitely appeals to a bit of a younger consumer base, but brands are really in to appeal to a large 100 million people who will be tuning into the Super Bowl.
Ad Age editor Janine Poggi says the 2022 trend is lighthearted fun.
I love that we get to sleep in. Ordering fresh mint mouthwash.
After the past 2 years and the fatigue that we've all experienced, brands are really looking to entertain and have a party atmosphere.
Bucking that trend is Budweiser. After sitting out the last big game for the first time in 37 years, the brand and its iconic Clydesdale horses are back, with a spot about resiliency directed by Oscar winner Chloe Zhao. Some companies pay as much as $7 million just for a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl. Some viewers we spoke with said the ads may be memorable, but they're not always effective.
If you're that 2 or 3 that people actually talk about after the Super Bowl, then it's worth it. But pretty much, they're kind of like white noise.
Another spot generating buzz is this Planet Fitness commercial featuring Lindsay Lohan poking fun at herself. Advertising insiders say it's part of a push from health and wellness companies to get in on the Super Bowl action. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
According to the network hosting the Super Bowl, there are more than 30 advertisers running spots for the first time in this year's game. Our Pet Vet on Call, up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at the security preparations at the Super Bowl. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the efforts of Columbus High School students to introduce composting into the community. Plus, Missouri legislators continue to debate legislative redistricting. And it's opening day for Pitt State softball, and we have the highlights. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. The owner of an indoor-outdoor cat has a question for our Pet Vet on Call. She writes, I noticed hair missing from the end of my cat's tail. I don't see any blood or injury. What could be causing this?
This sounds like a psychogenic disorder, commonly called tail sucking. It's common in cats that are bored or maybe getting older, there's nothing to do, maybe some anxiety. Because she's an indoor-outdoor cat, it might be hard to diagnose. But what the problem is that she's licking her tail so much that she's literally pulling off her hair. That's why there's no wounds underneath. What I would recommend is locking her up indoors to see if the hair grows back and the problem goes away. That means there's something outside going on. If it doesn't, then your kitty might need some happy pills to get over it.
Yeah, we invite questions from anyone. If you have one, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question, brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have Abby, a female Labrador Retriever and Pit Bull Terrier mix, a puppy. And from the SEK Humane Society, we have this 9-year-old female domestic short hair named Smokey Joe. Kind of a smoky color there. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? Always a lot of them to choose from. Not bad weather to get out and maybe take the pet for a walk tonight.
No, it looks great. Temperatures are dropping back through the 50s. Chilly tonight, back down near freezing. A few little sprinkles late tonight. A little bit cooler tomorrow, still fantastic. 55, 60 on Friday. A few random showers late. Much cooler Saturday, but Super Bowl Sunday looking pretty good.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.